You know, we've all heard stories, or maybe even seen it happen. A crime goes down. It could be anything, really. A theft, a big argument, or something much more serious. And in that moment, in all that chaos, it's totally normal to feel completely lost.
So what do? What's the one thing, the single most important action that actually kicks off the entire legal process? What is that very first step you have to take to get the ball rolling on justice? Well, the answer is in these three little letters, FIR. I'm sure you've heard this term thrown around all the time, right? On the news, in movies, but what does it actually mean, and why is it so incredibly important? Let's dive in and break it all down.
All right, to really get this, we have to start with this one foundational document. Think of it as the key that unlocks the entire system's response when a crime happens.
So what does FIR stand for? It's the First Information Report, and honestly, the name kind of gives it away, doesn't it? It's the very first official written record that a crime has occurred. When you go to the police with information about what's called a cognizable offense, and that's just a term for a serious crime where they can make an arrest without a warrant, they are legally required to write it down. And that piece of paper? That's the FIR.
Now, I love this analogy. Think of the entire justice system as a huge house. Well, the FIR is the main door to that house. You can't get inside, you can't talk to anyone, you can't start looking around until that door is unlocked and opened. This really shows you how vital it is. Without an FIR, police legally have their hands tied. They can't officially start an investigation.
Okay, so we get it. It's the key. But who gets to hold that key? Who can actually open this door to justice? And what does that process even look like? Let's get into the practical stuff.
This is such a critical question, because a lot of us think it's only the person who is directly affected, the victim, who can take action. But is that really true?
The answer is a huge no. And this is so important. The law is actually way broader than you might think. Of course, the victim can file. That makes sense. But so can a witness, someone who just saw it happen. And maybe the most empowering part is this. Any person with solid, definite info about a serious crime can file an FIR. You know, that kind of makes it a civic duty for all of us, doesn't it?
And the process itself? It's actually designed to be pretty straightforward. First, you just go to the nearest police station, you tell the officer on duty what happened, just state the facts as you know them, they have to write it all down. Then, and this is super important, they'll read it back to you. You need to listen really carefully. And only after you're 100% sure every single detail is accurate, then you sign it. The big takeaway here is verify before you sign.
Look, knowing the process is half the battle. But knowing your rights, that's what really empowers you. And honestly, this is stuff every single one of us should know by heart.
Let's kick things off with the cost. How much money do you need to file an FIR? Well, it's exactly what you're seeing on the screen. Zero, zilch, nada. It is a completely free public service. You should never, ever have to pay a single rupee just to have your complaint registered.
And once it's all filed, you don't just walk away with nothing. It is your absolute legal right to get a copy of that FIR. And guess what? That's also completely free. Just make sure it has the police station's official stamp and the date on it, because that document is your proof that the whole legal process has officially started.
All right, now let's tackle the scenario that, let's be honest, a lot of people worry about. You've done everything right, you go to the station, but the officer refuses to register your FIR. What do you do then?
Yeah, that can be a really intimidating and frustrating situation to be in. It can make you feel powerless. But it is so important to know that you are not at a dead end. The system actually has a backup plan for this.
First things first, just stay calm. Don't panic. Take a deep breath, because there is a very clear official procedure you can follow to escalate this and make sure your complaint gets heard.
Okay, here's your game plan. Step 1, you're going to write down your entire complaint in a formal letter. Step 2, you're going to send that letter, not back to the local station, but directly to the District Superintendent of Police, or the SP, and make sure you send it by registered post, okay? That creates an official paper trail that it was sent and received.
And this is why that step is so powerful. The SP is a high-ranking officer. They have the authority to personally review your complaint. And if they agree that it has merit, they can go over the local station's head and directly order them to register the FIR and get that investigation started. See, it's the system's own check and balance in action.
So, there you have it. You now have the knowledge. You know what an FIR is, who can file one, how to do it, and even what to do if you hit a roadblock. This information, it changes you from just a bystander into a truly aware citizen.
If you take away just one thing today, please let it be this. The FIR isn't just a piece of paper. It is the starting gun for the entire race for justice, and filing it quickly, promptly, is absolutely critical. Any delay can mess with evidence and even affect how credible your report seems, so don't wait.
So we're going to end with this question, and this one's for you. Knowledge is only powerful when it's put to use, right? Now that you understand the process and your rights, how will you use this information? How can you use it to be more vigilant, to help out a neighbor, a friend, or maybe even a total stranger who's in need? Because at the end of the day, an informed citizen is the bedrock of a just society.